good afternoon, morning, or whenever you're watching this. Today, the Ottawa Senators just released new their new logo. New in air quotes is not really their new logo. It's the same one they came back. They essentially brought back the same one they wore in expansion. Now, the logo is nice and everything, but it creates a huge problem that sports teams are doing. Every so many years, you see a sports team return to a logo that they wore before, which is all well and good. But especially in hockey, um, there's no teams reaching forward. All the third jerseys you get now are usually throwbacks. Pittsburgh's gold is a throwback. They switched their logos out to their old ones. The Leafs are wearing a throwback. The Canadians never change their jersey. The Bruins have always kind of wore spoke B. Every team's just going throwback, throwback, throwback. And when you get a new jersey, especially in hockey, you get when the Ducks did their orange jersey with the duck head there, it was orange. That was really nice, but because that was something a little different. When, or even the last time Anaheim put out their duck head jersey that had some changes. They kind of tweaked it a little, but you constantly see it, especially in hockey. If something's new, it's lambasted. I remember when the Coyotes came into the league, they had the coyote on the front, and that was lambasted. And when the Buffalo Sabres came in with their Buffalo Slug, that was lambasted. I just wish teams would look more forward instead of ahead. The only problem with looking behind and nostalgia is what if you don't have any good history? The Oilers recently went back to their copper shoulder patches. That was really nice because they won a lot of cups with those, but also, how far do you go back? And do you want to remember where the Senators were playing with those old logos? I grew up watching those teams with that old logo, and it was bad. The teams were beating the playoffs almost every year by the Leafs. The one year they make the Cup final, they don't have to play the Leafs. Now, I agree that the Senators did have to change their logo. It was terrible. It had like eyes that followed you when you're sleeping. And I mean, yes, redesign was important, but you always want to look for something new when you're marketing, especially sports jerseys. Anything sports memorabilia, you want to market to younger kids. Because let's be honest, they're going to follow the team, hopefully, for the rest of their lives instead of just for a little while. And why don't you go and do something younger and do something nice? There's a lot you could do with the Senators logo. You could do the Peace Tower outside Ottawa. The Peace Tower, it's on the Atletico Ottawa's logo. It's basically that, has the Peace Tower on it. Looks really nice. And if you want to do a Sens logo, there's the big O. If you don't want to do the big O, I understand. But there's just so much more you could do. Historically, Senators jerseys don't sell well. I have a hard time finding them. A lot of places don't stock them. They're playing Southern Ontario, which, I mean, if you're in Ontario, you're probably going to be a Leaf fan. This is getting a little rambly. I apologize. I just wish the Senators maybe did something a little more creative. It seems like hockey has a huge problem just always going vintage, 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 vintage. The only problem is, like, yeah, if you've seen vintage logos and you go back to the past so much, what happens then? Like, how do you become new and current if you're just constantly looking back to the past? Yes, there are teams that go back to the past once every while, maybe as a one-off, maybe as, for, say, if it was their 50th season, you want to go back and you want to relive that, sure, best kind. But, I don't know, I just find it funny how teams will try to always go back to the past. You see this in all sports, but especially with hockey. Even the Newfoundland Growlers just their second year in the league went back to a St. John's Maple Leafs jersey. And it was all well and good, but you don't want to, as much as those jerseys are nice, you want to move forward. You want to get different ideas, different things. And if you want to have that little bit of touch of past, do it. But the only problem relying on nostalgia is what happens if people don't have any nostalgia for it. The best example would be if Vegas did a throwback jersey. It would look weird. They've been in the league, 3 seasons? What are you throwing back to? You've been in the league 3 years, right? The Warriors did a throwback this year. Their current jersey is kind of a throwback, but has a modern touch. The Sixers right now have a kind of a throwback look, but it's a little different. There's a huge problem with always going back to the past. Start looking forward towards your jerseys. Start looking forward towards your brand ideas, because you can't keep going back to the past. Eventually, you can stop playing that card. You get a law of diminishing returns. you do a one-off, a throwback for maybe 1 or 2 games this season, it sells really well. But if you see it every game, I've already seen this. And the old Ottawa Center logo looked bad to begin with. I don't know why you're throwing back to it. This is just me ranting. But anyway, if you like this video, make sure to hit like and subscribe. If you don't like this video, make sure to hit like and subscribe. I talk to people a couple times a week usually. It's great talking to you all. Have a great day. Let me know what you think in the bottom of maybe a different redesign. And before I go, recently, the same year that Ottawa came into the league, Tampa Bay came into the league. When they redesigned their logo, it looked really nice. Simple, had a lightning bolt. I agree, it looked a bit like the Flash logo. But right now, they're in the finals right now. I'm not saying that's because of their logo, but it's really nice. It's really nice, really classic. Even Dallas, something with Dallas, it was a D in the stars. Yes, their old logo was Dallas stars and had kind of looked like a product this time. It's nice, but it's really nice. It's nice now. Montreal's always had that classic, Canadiens logo, and all you gotta say is if you can do something with a classic vibe and modernize it, just little tweaks here and there. Maybe tweak this, maybe tweak that. If you want to go back to something with that old thing, I understand. Maybe change the colors, but yeah. There's more you could have done with Ottawa. I don't know why they didn't go a little more forward with it. I understand you want to get that old money, but old money, eventually your older fans pass away or what have you. I know that sounds terrible, but you want to be modernizing yourself a lot. Anyway, you all have a great day. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.